be with you.
And also with you.
This is the first in a series of 8 assemblies thinking about Jesus' parables. And today we've gathered together to worship God, Father, Son and Holy Spirit, and to think about the meaning of the parable of the wise and foolish builders. And we're thinking about the value of wisdom. Now, I wonder if you can think how you might describe sand and rock. Here's a picture to help you think. Sand and rock. Sand, well, there's lots of words we could use to describe that. Gritty or maybe smooth, but always very easy to shape and move. Rock's a completely different kettle of fish. It's very solid and very hard and very difficult to cut and shape. So I want to read you one of Jesus' well-known parables, sometimes called the house on the rock and the house on the sand, sometimes called the two builders. There was once a man, a wise man, who wanted to build a house. So he found a big rock, a really big rock, and he said, "This is where I'll start." And he dug a big hole in that really big rock, and that's where he built his house. Then the rain came, and the sea rose, and the wind huffed and puffed enough to blow that house down. But the house didn't move. There was another man, a foolish man, who wanted to build a house too. So he found a nice beach, a beautiful sandy beach, and he said, "That's where I'll start." And he smoothed out the sand and he tossed out the shells, and that's where he built his house. And the rain came, and the sea rose, and the wind huffed and puffed, enough to blow that house down. And down it fell, with a shiver and a rumble and a crash. "Listen to my words," said Jesus. "Do what I tell you, and you'll be like that first man. For the things I say are true, solid as any rock, and you can build your life upon them." Jesus says everyone who hears these words of mine and puts them into practice is like the wise man who builds his house upon a rock. So the house is a symbol for our lives. Jesus is saying that if we put his wise words, his teachings into practice, it's like building our lives on rock, that solid, hard rock. And then we'll be able to stand firm when challenges come our way. I wonder if you can remember some of the other parables that Jesus told. Here's a picture to help you think of one of them. He told a parable about lost sheep. I wonder if you can think about what that meant. It meant that God came to find the sheep that was lost, us, when we get into a pickle. Another parable Jesus told is about a sower sowing seed. And all the different kinds of soil the seed fell in. We're going to hear more about that another time. And finally, this picture. It's not about a parable, so don't worry if you haven't guessed one. This is about some wise words of Jesus. Do to others as you would have them do to you. We're going to hear the opening words of two conversations now, and I want you to imagine that the person is speaking to you and think how you might reply. Think about Jesus' words that I've just read. Do to others as you would have them do to you.
Simon is doing a bike ride, a sponsored bike ride. He wants me to do it with him for company, but it will be hard work.
Do to others as you would have them do to you.
Mrs. Wilson has asked for volunteers in lunchtimes to be PE monitors and to keep game stuff tidy, but I'd rather just go out and play.
Those words, do to others as you would have them do to you, are sometimes known as the Golden Rule. Take a moment to talk to the person next to you as to why you think that is. And when I hold up my hand, I'd like you to be quiet again. Putting Jesus' wise words into practice is like building our lives on rock instead of sand. And I'm going to say a short prayer now. It's written like a rap. And if you'd like to join in, please say Amen at the end. When I'm up and when I'm down, when I'm sitting on the ground, when I run and when I walk, I'll build my life on solid rock. When I laugh and when I cry, when I smile and when I sigh, when I'm silent and when I talk, I'll build my life on solid rock. When my life is nice and easy, when I'm worried, stomach queasy, when I'm peaceful, when I'm shocked, I'll build my life on solid rock. When I want to do what's wise, but foolish thoughts buzz round like flies, I'll stop and pray, and then take stock, and build my life on solid rock. Amen.
Amen.